Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So recently, I called myself paying off my truck note, right? Had it for some years. I won't say how long I had it, but had it for some years. I can technically say I paid it off early, but paid it off nonetheless. Put a little extra on it. At first, I was paying, the minimum payments for a while, still trying to catch up with my previous life, starting over with the career and this, that, and the third, new house, everything else. So, paying minimum payments for a while. And then one day I looked, start looking at my payments, looking at my interest, looking at other things that need to be paid off. And was like, oh no, I can't run this truck full term. Truck might not even last that long. I still need to pay it off early. So I started putting, extra money on every month. Every month was a set amount. It was extra, And when you do that and you look at your payments and you look at your payment history, you see that you'll have they'll say, let's say like this month is August. So let's say like you got a payment due in September. But if you was paying, you're paying extra every month, eventually it'll add up to another payment to where you look at your statement and it'll be like, instead of another payment being due in September, it'll say your payment not due until October, right? But you don't look at that. You just keep paying that extra payment, and then eventually it'll flip around, but then your note, will be less than what it originally is, but it doesn't matter. You still keep paying that extra money each month, and then you get ready to pay it off. I had technically 2 or 3 months left on the early payment schedule I was on. So I actually just put a lump sum on it. Boom, got rid of it. Thought it'd be great. Thought it'd be looking good on the credit. It'll free up money on my end so I can pay other stuff. But I was happy, so I felt great. Paid it off, title came in, all that kind of stuff. But then I went to my Credit Karma account. Well, they were sending me notices saying, you recently paid off an account, closed an account. Here's how it can affect your credit score. Saw it a couple of times, ignored it. But then when the message kept popping up, I said, this got to be important. Let me read it. So went on Credit Karma, clicked on a notification, and noticed that my credit score dropped 25 points. I was shocked, dismayed, perturbed, upset. Whatever word you want to use, I was not happy. I'm wondering what the hell just happened? So read the article. So I read the little article that they're saying that, if you close an account, depending on how, especially if it's if you had if it's an older account, this account had to been at least, I'm going to say about 5 years old, 5 years old. So you got credit utilization. I mean, you got years, credit history that you've been paying on a card for years. Well, an account for years. And then you close it. That looks negative on your credit score, which is jacked up. So I'm reading, don't make sense. But I came to the realization that this system is based on you always owing, no matter what. The system in this country, I don't know how it works in other parts of the world. If anybody in any other part of the world is watching this, chime in and tell us how it works where you're at. Or hell, if you're in a different state, different city, different town, whatever, chime in on your experience and how it works out for you. But here, if you pay something off early, they get mad at you. They don't say, hey, congratulations, you paid off early. Let's boost your credit rating because now we know that you are good at paying stuff. Now, they claim that's what they want you to do. You make payments every month on time. It looks good on your credit score. That's what we want, your credit history. And that way we can give you more credit. Key phrase, give you more credit. But if you do that and then you pay something off and don't buy nothing else, now they mad at you like, why you not using this credit card? What are you doing? I'm like, well, hell, I'm using cash. I'm saving up money using cash. I got a money market account, like a money investment account to where I could use that, you know what I'm saying, save money up. And then when I want to buy something, I use that money instead of, using credit. Oh, we don't like that. We're going to drop your credit score. That's jacked up, but I don't have bad credit standing with you. Yeah, yes, you do, because you're not using us no more. So we upset. Payday loan, same thing. Years ago, I got a payday loan. And I think I had some kind of emergency on a car. So I needed money and I didn't have it. So what I did is got a payday loan, go through all that paperwork. They tell you all this kind of stuff. Now, I knew that I wasn't going to keep this loan no more than a couple of months. I already knew that because I know the interest rate. I know the fees and all that kind of stuff. And when I go in there to get the loan, I see people coming in there paying like a minimum payment. And then they do when you do a minimum payment, it's like a whole new agreement. So they print out all these papers again. You got to go back and re-sign. And I'm looking at these people like, damn, that's jacked. I said, man, I refuse to be caught in that rut. So got the payday loan, got my car fixed. And then when I went to go pay it all off, first thing they told me, well, actually, when you sign the agreement, it tells you if you pay it off within a matter of like weeks or days. So I think it was maybe like a couple of weeks. I know I was going to pay it back. They say you can't borrow money from us no more. Now, again, you're doing something good for yourself. You proving that, hey, I'm going to borrow money. I'm going to bring it back. They like, no, because you are a risk, because we can't make money off of you. And that's the key, is that they want to continue to make money off of you as a consumer. So then it becomes a question of, so is it even worth having credit? And should you buy everything cash? I think it's a yes and no. Just depends on the situation. I think if you want to buy a house and you don't have the money for, you don't have like $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 that it costs to buy a house now, then yeah, you need good credit, good standard credit. You need to have a good down payment, good credit history, so that way you can get a house with the least amount of, the lowest interest rates possible and the lowest payments. And then you want to be able to afford that house. You want to be able to pay extra. You want let's say like this. You want the payment to be the minimum as possible, but yet you can pay more than that when it's time to pay. So when you paying extra, you can mess around and pay the house off within 15 to 21 years instead of 30. It depends on if you got a 30-year mortgage. Buying cars nowadays, it's almost like, shoot, you almost got to have good credit because cars are so expensive now. It's kind of hard to sit here and save up money for a car unless you're just waiting for the market to drop, which is possible because people are not buying cars because they're so expensive. So car prices may drop here soon, but you still want to save up your money. The thing is, you want to save up as much money as possible to put towards anything you want to buy. Anything other than a house and maybe a car, everything else you should do cash. That's including vacations. That's including groceries, clothes, getting your hair, nails done, haircuts, whatever the case. You shouldn't use like credit to purchase those things. Everything you should use is cash. But I'm going to say this. Get to a point to where you can use credit cards to pay for everything that you could pay for in cash, but yet pay it off at the end of the month if you're trying to build credit. You see what I'm saying? Like buy something like gas. You can get your gas card. What else? Like a jewelry card. I tell you like this. I remember when I first started building credit when I was young, my dad told me the easiest way to do it back then. Like I said, I don't know how it is now, but back then he's like, get you a jewelry card. Go to a jewelry store. It's the easiest way to get get credit. You might get like $200, $300, $500, whatever. Use that, pay it off. And that's how you start building credit. Me, I did that as a kid. And then when I had to restart my life, I had to get one of those. I don't know, is it secured or unsecured? I can't think of which one it is. But it's the one where you put your own money on the credit card and then you start using it and paying it off. That's how I had to rebuild my credit. That's about a good 10 something years ago, probably. So hell, it ain't that long. But I mean, hey, that's what you got to do. And now you look at it in the future, it's worth it. You just got to, It's about taking care of your present and your future, especially your future, because your future, you don't know what's going to happen, but right now you know what's going on. So you use your current situations to be able to build for the future. Anyway, so yeah, so like I said, you want to like gas. You can get gas. You get a card, the gas station, use it to buy gas. At the end of the month, pay it off, or pay at least down to like 10%, because credit cards don't want you to use no more than like 30% utilization, which means like if you got $1,000 card, they want you to have no more than $300. If you got $100 card, they want you to, owe no more than $30. So I say keep it like 15%. If you got to keep something on it, because again, you're trying to build your credit, right? For those major purchases. So it look good when you walk to a dealership or get ready to buy a house and like, dang, you got a good credit, got a good job, good career, good history. We ain't got to go through a whole bunch of red tape. You got the down payment. Let's do it. You in and out, within a day, because you know how car dealerships are. But the funny thing about credit is, also I want to touch on is it better to save, invest, or is it better to pay off your debt first? And again, these are things that I learned late in life in the past few years, in understanding things that I, teach my kids and make sure whatever I learned, they learn, so they don't have to be in the same situation I'm in at the age I'm at. So that way, when they're my age, they they could be millionaires easy if they just follow these plans. And they are doing it, what I'm saying, which is great. So I got nothing but, great aspirations and stuff for them. And I'm proud of my kids, love them to death and stuff like that. But I believe that you should pay off your debt first before you start saving and investing. I know they say you should always save money, which is, true. Save some money just in case, rainy day fund, this and the third. But if you can save, how about if you can do both at the same time, then you could benefit. But if you had to choose one over the other, I would say pay off credit debt. And here's why. I looked at a couple of calculators and try to break it down real simple to you. So let's say you had $2,000. Okay. No. Okay. Let's say $2,000 involved in this scenario. You got a credit card for $1,000 and then you spent it all. Okay. So you owe $1,000 on the credit card. On the other hand, you have $1,000 and you invested in an account like I said, like an index fund, money market, mutual fund, what have you. And let's say it got like a very generous 10% return, which most accounts have, over the long term, 7 to 10% on return on investment over some years. So let's say you have a credit card balance, and I got this on a Forbes.com credit card payoff calculator. You can look this up yourself. Always keep an eye on your finances, on everything you make, everything you spend, your credit score, what affects it, Credit Karma. To me, that's what I use. That's how I got started. When I started over, when I had my life start over reset, use Credit Karma, and it helped me get that card that I had to put $300 down on. But like I say, it built it over time. It showed me what my credit score was. It kept up with what I was paying, what I wasn't paying, what I needed to do, stuff like that. Loans I could take out. Just had a third to try to build my financial life back up. I mean, shoot, you just got to, you got to do something to stay on top of your money. And the younger you start, the better. And for you to teach your kids the same thing is the best. So that next generation won't be part of those generational curses where you ain't got no money, you ain't got nothing to hand down to them, or they ain't got nothing to hand down to their kids. They could be an example because, kids go by what you do, not by what you say. So they can be an example to their own children. So that's why when I do stuff, I can tell them while I'm doing it. which is even better than probably doing it and then telling them and then they never see me do it. But now if they can see me doing it, I think they learn better. But anyway, Force.com, credit card payout calendar. And it said, and I put in, let's say you have $1,000 credit card, right? Balance. And interest rate, 24%. Interest rate most times going to be from 24 to 29. If you take cash out of that card, it's going to be 29. It's going to be 29%, whatever you take out. But if you buy stuff, it'd be average of 24.99%. Is what it usually is on that statement. And let's say you pay, let's say you do the minimum balance. Put $40 a month. Most minimum balances on something like this, like $25, $30. But I'm going to say a generous $40 is what you'll pay. So you calculate that. It would take 3 years to pay that $1,000 off. You'll pay $402 in interest over the 3-year period. Okay. So that's a negative $402 that you paid for that, for that trip you took. That little trip down to the beach and you just had to get away, this, that, and the third. And so that $1,000 you put on that card and you knew you could pay $40 a month. Now you are $402 in the hole after 3 years. Seems minimal, but over time, compounded things add up. I always remember that, but we're going to keep this as, A and A. Then you go over to an investment. So let's say you had at the same time, you have $1,000 and you put it in an investment account. Okay. And you don't contribute to it no more. You just have $1,000 leaving in that bank account and you don't contribute. And over that same 3 years, you say the estimated rate of return, again, 10% over 3 years, compounded annually. You have gotten, where'd it go? A total of $1,331 that you have gained on account. Now you sitting there saying, "Oh man, I gained $300 and they ain't had to do nothing over 3 years." Just imagine if I would have did this, that, and the third. But we're gonna keep it basic. But remember that credit card at 20% interest, you owe $402, which means you're in the negative just based on those two accounts. $71. You have lost $71 over that time period. Now, this does not include inflation. This does not include any other bills, any other variables that may happen over time. This is just these two accounts and you're matching them up against each other. You have lost $71 in 3 years. It seems minimal, but again, when you multiply that by thousands, hundreds, and thousands of dollars over the years, it becomes worse. Think about if you had $3,000 to both sides or $10,000 to both sides. Matter of fact, let me see. Now, let's go back to the credit card real quick before I do that. So let's say you want to pay $100 a month on the credit card because you got it. You just want to go out and just kick it with your girls or with your homeboys for a month, for a day, go on the Super Bowl, whatever. You pay it off in a year. You only pay $126 in interest. And again, I'm going to calculate that. And the other account was $330. So you gain $231. Now so that scenario is a scenario to where you can say, okay, let me pay bills off and invest at the same time. As long as I got a profit, I'm good. Right now. Like I say, there are different variables that you can add. You can put more money on your credit card. You can put money into your the same extra money you put on your credit card. You put that extra money into your savings. To your investment account, and sky's the limit. So let's say like this. Let me say you got $10,000 credit card and you paying, what's the minimum payment on a $10,000 credit card? I don't know. Would it be, let's just say $200. Okay. Let's just say $200. Okay. Oh, your $200 does not cover the, oh hell, well, let's see, 300. Okay. So let's say 300 because on $10,000, I don't know what the minimum payment is, but it ain't 200, but $300 is fine. Let's see, recalculate. It'll take 4 years and 8 months to pay off a $10,000 credit card. Total interest, $6,600. Let's write this down. $6,643 in interest over, and it takes 4 years and 8 months. So let's go to the investment. Let's say you put in $10,000 investment. Now, again, this is if you don't touch it. And you don't touch it. Now you can say, well, let's say if I put 300 on the credit card, and let's say if you don't touch it, let's do this first. 3 years of growth, which is 4.8. So let's give it four. Can I do 4.8? 4.8. No, I can't do 4.8. So let's see. 4.8, let's just round up closer to 5 years. On a 10% return, you've gained $6,105.10. So you're still, let's see, 6,115. So $500, you still $500 in the hole if you do that. But let's say you put in the 300 a month, like you're doing a credit card. Now, if you can do the same thing to your credit card, if you can do the same thing to your investment account that you do to your credit card, then that's where also that calculation or doing it that way really adds up. Cause that's one thing I like to do is if whatever I do for the negative, I gotta do for the positive. And that's what I do. Like if I can't put like money into an investment account or savings account, if I can't put something in there every pay period, it's a problem. I got to put something in there. Just can't let the money just sit. Just can't like not use all money to pay off all bills. I put the money in a different account. Now, I got a Fidelity money management account, right? And just got that because I saw a video. I forgot the guy's name. Hell, I follow him on Instagram. But he said he'd been doing it for 20 years. He said, you get like a 4% 7-year utilization for a week, 7 day. Yeah, 7 day, like 7 days, you get like 4% utilization, something like that. But one of the main perks I saw was that ATM fees, they reimburse you for ATM fees. I'm like, well, shoot, why the heck am I going through Chase? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm trying to transfer all my stuff over to the Fidelity account. But anyway, so let's say you put $300, you got $10,000 initial deposit. Now you're putting $300 in every month to this account with an estimated growth of 10% at 5 years. That's within 5 years, you'll have $39,073.47 over 5 years. That's way, way over what you owe the interest on that credit card. So see, those are ways that those are different avenues, different ways that you can take to look into in order to grow your money, invest, pay off debt. But hell, if you can pay off debt sooner, now think about it. Shoot, what if you can pay off, like say, $1,000 card, if you can pay it off in a couple of months, then you may want to forego putting money in an investment account for a couple of months, pay that credit card off, leave it alone. Like I say, leave like 5-10% of it open. Use utilization, and then start putting the rest of it in your investment account. You can do it like that, but however you do it, I personally think you should, save and pay off debt at the same time, invest and pay off debt at the same time. But again, whatever you do over here, you need to do over there every month, which means if you can't do right by both hands, then sit back, scale back, and think about what you're really doing. Is it worth it? Because you're going to always have debt. Like I said, living in this country, they want you to, it's just like getting a house. Last thing, things always come to my head. It's like buying a house. You can buy a house. Let's say bought this house like 6 years ago. Bought for a certain price. Thanks to the pandemic and folks moving here from California,
the house values went skyrocketed. I got a homeboy who bought a house for 300 something thousand. He said his house worth like 6 now. Like, God, how the heck within the same time frame? But that's a whole different story. But so the value of the house is way more than what we are currently paying for, the value of when we bought it. So let's say we want to sell this house to get another house. The way the system is set up, you have to buy a house equal or greater in value than the house you got. Because if not, you got to pay hella fees. What is it called? Capital gains or something like that. But you got to pay hella taxes on that money, which is insane. So they want you to buy a house. So that way you buy a house worth more than the equity or the house that you have. So that way you always paying a freaking house note. That's what they want you to think. That's how they want you to. Because if you buy a house less than that, like I said, you're going to owe money. So you might as well. And so I think that's one reason why folks from California, when they bought houses in Texas, they paid so much up front, sight unseen. House worth 300, we'll pay you 450 for it. Because shoot, their houses for the same size as a $300,000 house is like damn near $1 million. So it's like, well, shoot, hey, whatever I can do to go, however much I can pay over market value just to make sure I don't have to pay that in these taxes, I'm gonna do it. Well, that's what they did. So that's what jacked up the whole housing market anyway. But anyway, hey, I'm no financial guru. I'm not a CPA. Didn't go to school for this. I just live this stuff every day. You know what I'm saying? This is in my daily life, looking at this stuff and stuff that I learned. So I just want to pass that little information to you. I've told y'all if I could do a second career, which I'm still thinking on it, it would be either in finance or to be like in taxes or, law. Well, it could be tax law, but because finance dictates your life, your everyday life, and how you live and, how comfortable you are. Laws is what dictates your finance, which what dictates how you live. So if I could do either one or both, man. But every day I'm studying, looking at stuff. I just bought a constitutional reader yesterday. So like I said, I'm for real. If I don't go to school, at least I have references to the things that I need when I need to learn stuff. But anyway, that's all I got for this subject. Went a little longer than I thought it would, but hey, the gist of it, the main point was I paid my truck off and got punished for it by the credit bureau. Go figure. But anywho, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Share your experiences with the world. You know how we do around here. Try to have intelligent conversation. I want to thank y'all for watching. Appreciate it. It means the world to us. But don't forget to also like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you nothing. Sure don't cost you no interest, but cost you nothing but maybe a couple of minutes out your day. But it means the world to us here. If you would like to contribute financially, you can always give super thanks, super chats, or go to the links in the description box. There are ways you can support us there. Don't forget to go to marlonmorale.com, marlonmorale.com. We have perfumes, we have silks, we have beard products, we have purses, and much more on marlonmorale.com. Get 10% off your first purchase. You will be pleasantly pleased, or whoever you buy something for, I guarantee they'll be pleased by what you get them. Again, marlonmorale.com. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.